I still can't get over how close the Marvel Cinematic Universe actor behind Marvel's Wonder Woman came to starring as the DCEU hero. Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman was one of the most celebrated performances in the DCEU timeline. However, the iconic hero was nearly played by a star from the MCU timeline, who already played a distinctly similar Marvel character. It's a tantalizing what-if that continues to spark discussion, not just because of the near-miss casting, but because of how perfect they could have been for Diana Prince. The DCEU's Wonder Woman debuted in 2016's Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, portrayed by Gal Gadot, marking the first live-action cinematic appearance of the iconic DC heroine. Her introduction was met with widespread acclaim, leading to a solo film in 2017 directed by Patty Jenkins. Wonder Woman became a critical and commercial success, praised for its hopeful tone and Gadot's commanding performance. The character quickly became a cornerstone of the DCEU, appearing in major crossover films like Justice League and receiving a sequel, Wonder Woman 1984. The DCEU's Wonder Woman was almost played by Jaimie Alexander. Jaimie Alexander plays Lady Sif in the MCU. Jaimie Alexander, best known to Marvel viewers as the fierce and loyal Lady Sif in the Thor franchise, was once a serious contender for a Wonder Woman. Sif wasn't a central character like Thor or Loki, but she left an impression, especially among comic readers who appreciated the portrayal of a no-nonsense warrior who could go toe-to-toe with gods and monsters. In a 2016 interview with Variety, Jaimie Alexander confirmed that her name had been part of the early discussions about Wonder Woman. When asked if she was ever considered for the iconic DC role, she replied candidly, while she didn't go into specifics, her words imply that she was seriously considered, likely among a shortlist of actresses with both the physicality and presence to portray Diana Prince. Given her existing superhero credentials and her commanding on-screen presence, it's easy to see why Warner Brothers might have been interested. However, the logistics were complicated at the time. The Marvel and DC universes were locked in intense competition, and actors crossing franchise lines, especially in prominent roles, was seen as highly unlikely. Alexander's ongoing commitment to Marvel effectively ruled her out, even if she was a near-perfect fit for the character. Still, knowing how close Alexander came to donning the tiara adds a whole new dimension to what might have been a very different take on the Amazon warrior. Jaimie Alexander is already Marvel's Wonder Woman. Lady Sif and Wonder Woman share a lot of similarities. Lady Sif holds her sword in Marvel Comics. As Lady Sif, Alexander is already playing a version of Wonder Woman. In both comics and film, Lady Sif is a fierce Asgardian warrior who fights for honor, love, and justice. She's regal, graceful, and deadly with a blade, traits that mirror Wonder Woman's core identity. The physical similarities are also inescapable, with both also adorned in warrior armor, swords, and shields. Alexander herself made the comparison in the same Variety interview, saying, "Into a romantic subplot or the traditional damsel role." Sif stood beside her male counterparts as an equal, much like Wonder Woman. In essence, while she never crossed over into the DC universe, Alexander didn't need to. Marvel had already given her a similarly iconic warrior role, even if it didn't get the spotlight it deserved. Watching Sif feels like watching what her Wonder Woman might have been. Alexander would be a great Wonder Woman. Jaimie Alexander as Lady Sif in battle and armed with a shield in Thor: Dark World. One of the reasons the almost casting of Jaimie Alexander as Wonder Woman is so captivating is because it's not hard to imagine. Just look at how she plays Sif. Her combat style, poise, and delivery all carry shades of what could have been Diana Prince, particularly in Thor: The Dark World, where she takes on invaders with the kind of skill and confidence you'd expect from an Amazon general. Even in her brief Loki cameo, where Sif reappears in a time loop memory to repeatedly punch the titular god, Alexander's screen presence is commanding. Sif makes the most of her limited screen time, offering another reminder of how much power she brings to a role that demands strength without sacrificing femininity. So, while the timeline didn't align and contracts got in the way, the fascination persists because Alexander showed, again and again, that she had all the raw ingredients to be a compelling Diana Prince. She just did it in a red cape instead of a golden tiara. With the DCEU officially over and James Gunn and Peter Safran's DC Universe reboot underway, the slate is clean for all major characters, including Wonder Woman. So it is technically possible that Jaimie Alexander could be cast as the new Wonder Woman. However, this does seem unlikely. Though Sif came close to death in Thor: Love and Thunder, she did survive and remains technically active in the MCU. That said, her appearances have been dwindling, and there is no real indication she will return to the franchise, with no Thor-related projects on the horizon. If Sif is quietly retired, that would allow Alexander to take over the role of Wonder Woman, if that is what is hindering her casting. Several actors have crossed the Marvel-DC divide, though perhaps not in such a prominent role. As of now, there's no official word on casting for the DCU's Wonder Woman. Gunn has confirmed that the character will be part of the new continuity, but how she will be introduced, whether in her own solo film or as part of a larger ensemble, is still unknown. Alexander still has the physicality, presence, and audience recognition to lead a major superhero project. If Gunn and Safran are looking to differentiate their version of Wonder Woman from Gal Gadot's while still maintaining the mythic power of the character, Alexander could be a strong choice.